if I want to grow, this is not the place to do it.
But it's prime real estate to build a brand and then go open up a second restaurant or a second store.
That's exactly what happens.
That's strategic, honestly, and it's popping. It ain't declined yet, bro. The Post is.
You know what's crazy is that there's no like retail stores.
No, it's expensive.
Food court, park, walk around with plants.
Yep.
On Saturday
Go
nights,
to the roof.
Jam packed. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's. What else is there to do? It's too expensive.
Yeah.
It's way too expensive. But anyways, Robert here. I'm here with my boy, AB. Some people call him Pastor Abe. Some people call him Pastor Abe Hunt. Some people call him Hermano, Theo. Some people call him all kind of things. But he's my brother from another mother. And today we're going to be diving into something that I'm passionate about.
Come on.
The church and the organization of the church. Usually we're thinking about the Sunday expressions. We're thinking about what happens on Wednesday nights or our groups and things like that. But what about the organization, the structure, the bones, the frame? Without a foundation, this whole thing's gonna fall apart. Who better to talk to than my boy? He's chill right now. He's relaxed. He's not overthinking. He didn't just tell me downstairs, you should have got somebody else. Actually, he did tell me that. But anyways, my brother's here. We're going right into it. No history, no background, no none of that. Tell me about your journey, bro. I think when a lot of people see you now, they almost feel like you've always just arrived to being the Instagrammable church with plants. And this guy's fashion forward. He's got a lot of motion and things are up and to the right for him. But a lot of people don't know your career had a lot of pit stops. And it's far from over.
Yeah.
So walk us through your journey, like, post high school, went into ministry, come involved in different things that you did.
First of all, it's cool to hear you call me AB, because that's how you know how long you've known me. So it's funny when people at the church or around the city will hear someone say AB. They're like, why do they call you AB?
Who is that?
I call you Abe or Abraham. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I've known them a long time.
Don't worry about that. Yeah.
So it's cool to hear that. Yeah, I mean, born and raised in Houston, graduated from Reagan High School here in town. And
Shout out Reagan.
They removed the name now. It's Heights High School, so it's Heights. But always been someone who loved Houston. I remember being 6 years old. By the way, tell me if I need to move this up.
No, you good.
It's good. 6 years old, and the Rockets won the championship. And mom and dad said, let's go celebrate. We drove through downtown. I saw some things I wasn't supposed to at 6 years old.
Jesus.
But I remember that. It's vivid.
Yeah.
And I celebrated the winning of the championship and remember thinking, this is what unity of a city feels like. And that's
at 6 years old?
At 6 going on 7. It was ingrained in me, which my son is 6 right now. It's crazy. It was ingrained. I'm like, this is unity. This is people united, city, downtown Houston. It just stayed ingrained. And since then, it's felt like I've tried to accomplish unity like that again. I'm trying to catch that 6-year-old
that original feeling. Yeah.
Which, as you know, so many things divide us. But I come back to that moment. But yeah, born and raised in Houston. After high school, I ended up just getting into the drumming world, played drums as well, and traveled doing that for a little bit. And got into some social work, got into some just different. It felt like I was doing 4 different things. It still feels like
I wasn't gonna put your business out there, brother, but it still feels like you do multiple things. And if anytime you're not, it feels weird.
Yeah,
my boy liked to just bring something else into it.
It's funny.
Yeah, but
I was just telling my wife how I was thinking about going back to school right now, but just to continue something. But
yeah, you told me that too.
Yeah, it's just been a journey. Went to police school, became a police officer for a little bit, and that was random, but it kind of wasn't. I felt like, let me take on a challenge. I've always liked to do things that maybe people would say, Abe, you would never do that.
Yeah.
That's something that you probably can't accomplish. And I take it as a challenge and also a challenge just for me, not for them. It's more like, how can I keep expanding my mind and my body? I had never trained like that. I know you, state champ, you good. You run, you do your thing. You got that in the bag. You can go outside right now and race somebody. Your back will hurt, but you're going to race.
I'm done.
So for me, I had never really done that. I was a musician, a creative, so to be on the floor doing push-ups and sit-ups, and it was just like, but I learned a lot, and I stretched my mind. I stretched my information on law, read it's called the Penal Code, which is the law Bible.
Yep.
and essentially thought about going to law school, and I thought that's going to take too long, and then I ended up in the faith space pastoring. So it's been a lot, and unless you've known me as long as you have, you know how the pieces come together.
Absolutely.
If you're hearing this for the first time, you're thinking, I'm so lost, and I totally get it. In short.
Yeah, in short, but a lot of that had so many moving parts, bro.
That's right. That's right.
Like before the babies came in, before even getting married.
That's right.
You had could you talk about the time you went to Dallas?
Yeah.
And what made you go to Dallas at the time? Because your life was going fairly smooth, discontent, nevertheless, but fairly smooth. And you dropped everything.
Yeah.
Could you talk about that drop everything moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I was working for a very wealthy man that I ended up meeting at a church, and it was a good time of just figuring out what I wanted to do. During that time, I was getting my music theory degree at San Jacinto College. Shout out to junior colleges. Come on, I know we talk about Ivy League and all the big shots, but we talking about community colleges.
Come on, bro.
HCC,
in the grind.
Stand up right now.
Yeah,
Come
stand
on,
in the grind, bro. You walk into class and it's like 18-year-olds and 50-year-olds, 73.
With that horrible fluorescent light.
Come
you don't even
on,
want to be in there.
somebody.
Yeah. Anyways.
What y'all know about community college, bro?
It just felt like I was coasting. I've never not done more than one thing. So I was always drumming, working, school. And in the middle of it all, it felt like I had just been just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Right? Mom and dad are pastors here in the city. And by the grace of God, have been able to watch them, live out their life. They just celebrated 51 years of marriage, by the way. Consistency to the core, right?
Yeah.
They just are consistent people, not perfect, but consistent. And I saw that example and I thought, well, I want that. I think the way that I want to live my life is someone that models that, because I've seen how mom and dad treat each other. They love God. They put God first. I think that's beautiful. I'm going to implement that. But I can't say that I was like completely bought into the religion space or the tradition space, because I felt like I didn't fit in. I felt like I couldn't invite my boys and people from the city into a space because it felt like there was a big disconnect. And it felt daunting on me to be able to say, I love God, I have a relationship with God, but I could never invite my boys who I love and trust to come with me. And that weighed heavy on me.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going to try to figure this out. For a long time, I felt like I was figuring it out, coasting. And I had actually a mutual friend come into the city, and he didn't say anything crazy. We were on Denny's. Shout out to Denny's. On 45 South, I remember vividly. And
he knows his spot.
Yeah, over by the airport. And he said, man, I just feel like God's calling you to something greater than just playing drums. Mm-hmm. You thought it was drums. You were hiding behind a drum set. But God's about to bless you with influence in the next 10 years in a way you couldn't have imagined. And I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about, but something is like changing inside of me.
Yeah.
And you can categorize that as many different things. I think in the faith space, some people would say it's a prophetic word.
Absolutely.
Other people would say he was just manifesting. Other people would say he's just being positive, bro. But I don't know what was happening. What I do know, it was clearly God speaking to me.
Yeah.
Calling me out into more than just coasting. And I thought to myself, well, if I want to get closer to God, I need to be in a space where I can just focus on him. And I got rid of my iPhone, went back to a little Nokia.
Yes, you did.
Sold all my studio gear.
Sold everything.
Gave my car away.
Alexis. I remember, yeah, bro. Come on, brother.
And
it's one thing if it was a 93 Honda.
I headed to Dallas, Texas to go to Bible school, out of all things. And I just spent the next year and a half to two investing in my relationship with God. Looking back at it now, it's been 13 years, by the way.
Come on.
Looking back at it now, if I can suggest anything to invest in your spirituality and connection with God, do it. It's worth it. So for me, I found clarity, I found God, and I thought I can't go back home and just be the normal Abe that I was.
Yeah.
It was just that. It was him speaking into me saying, there's more. There's more.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I bet that's why you're so passionate about speaking into people.
Oh, man.
About how there's more.
Absolutely. I'm constantly doing it, by the way, so much so that people are like, you're a little too positive. You're a little too... I'm like, man, I just feel like I know what it did for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't incredible preaching. It wasn't a video of somebody motivating me. It was a friend, across a Denny's booth that made time, by the way, to just say, I think there's more.
Who didn't live in the city at all.
He didn't live in the city. Actually, he had other things that he was going on, and he ended up just saying, hey, let's meet up. Let's just chat. And heard my heart's cry. At that point, I had gone through a crazy breakup and was feeling kind of low. And I'm like, oh, man, what's next? Am I putting my hope in the wrong things? And kind of just trying to figure out what's next. And he just came at the opportune time. That's why I speak, life into people. And I try my best to just motivate them because that might be something that will help them. That changed the trajectory of my life.
Entire life.
Like
Absolutely.
I had seeds planted, my parents, I had all these things that set me up. But that right there was like, yep, something changed. That night, I remember I went home and mom and dad were like, what happened to you?
I remember that. Yeah.
Are you good? And I'm like, I have no idea. I'm going to figure this out, but I know I need to get closer to God, and went on that journey. Which, by the way, like, although I grew up in the church, I didn't like churchy things. I really disliked churchy things. Churchy lingo. Churchy lingo, the whole, I was just like, I'm good. I believe in God. I don't know about everything else that comes with it. I don't know about that.
See, I kind of like churchy. I do now, bro.
Sure.
I love a good Instagram reel with ridiculousness. Just, how you doing? Blessed? just over the top, churchy. The prophet Kendrick Lamar said,
oh, yeah.
Just like, as the psalmist Beyonce once said, I love ridiculousness, bro. I used to be so over it, especially around that time too.
Oh,
but
yeah.
now, I live for a good, I live for a good churchy moment. I think like so much of what you're saying too, like speaking like a transformation, like your life change.
Literally.
Off of the obedience, faith.
Yeah.
And really just stepping out of somebody else, bro, and to call what they see. And I think like the Capital C Church, a part of our jobs and a part of what we hope to implore into like discipleship models is that we speak things into existence.
That's right.
And we hope that transformation is happening all throughout the community of faith.
That's right.
But without the infrastructure to the church, this whole thing is going to dilapidate. It's going to fall apart sooner or later.
That's right.
So how do you, like with what you're doing now, bro, how do you balance the power, life? There's nothing like it too.
Right.
And make no mistake, your boy's a holy roller.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing like the power of God that leads to transformation like nothing else.
That's right.
I appreciate the models. I love the steps.
Yeah.
We need the teams. We need to have greeters. We need to have like all of that is all good, and I'm here for it. But there's nothing like the power of God transforming a life. But without the infrastructure, we have nowhere to put it. So fire's good.
That's right.
But outside of the fireplaces, it can burn the whole house down. So how do you guys and your team and maybe just like your life, bro, how do you balance like we need transformation, but we need legitimate organization to make this work and be successful?
Yeah, I think I had strategy, infrastructure, degrees, money. For me, it happened early. So by the time that I encountered this real like moment with God, I was all in.
Okay.
I think for a lot of people, it happens when they're younger. Oh, no, I outgrew that youth camp experience. I outgrew that holy moment that it was just emotionalism. I outgrew whatever it may be. So I think for me, it was the opposite. I was 21. And here I am experiencing this God that people said they experienced when they were 15 or 13. And I'm like, I'm leaving everything. This is real. It's become real to me. And this might come from growing up in the hood, but when you do something, you go all in. Yeah. There's no halfway. Yeah. Hey, are you doing this or are you not? Did God speak to you or he didn't?
See, this is my boy right here.
Are you following him or are you not? So I think for me, I was like, I'm in. No, hey, well, what are you doing? Why are you selling everything? You have everything. I'm in. I'm going to figure this out. And every step of the way since then, I've obeyed, right? So I think for me, yes, organization is good, structure, foundation. But my foundation was there. I think for me, I was lacking, and now we are going to get super spiritual, but I was lacking the actual connection with God. I had the information, I had the revelation, I had all the things. I had heard some of the best communicators in the world, but yet still, I personally was not connected to the source, which I believe is God, through Jesus. So I finally connected to the source, and I'm like, oh, this is powerful. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So it became fresh. It became new. It became real to me as a 21-year-old man. Since then, I've been obeying radically. I'm talking about like, I'm doing childish things. I'm doing things that you would have said, oh yeah, I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to be that on fire. I used to love God like that. And I'm like, that's okay. Let me do what I need to do. This is my experience with God. I was the first one to marry outside of my culture. Married a Russian girl who I met in Bible school. Brought her home.
Shout out
Alina. And my parents were like, we don't know anything about Russian people. And I'm like, it's okay. This is what God has called me to do. We've been married going on 12 years now.
Fire
which
wedding,
is crazy.
by the way.
Oh, you were at my wedding. That's
yes.
right. You're one of the few.
In Conroe.
One of the select few. You were the elite.
That boy went through an exodus. Everybody from the past was not there. This was future forward.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So yeah, so ever since then, I feel like when God speaks, I filter it through his word, and then I get around people who are wise and say, what do you guys think? You guys feel like this is it? And when that happens, I just go for it.
So you have a process of getting counsel.
Absolutely. Every time.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So number one is, if I feel like God spoke to me, does it match up with the word of God that I read, the Bible? And then I'll go through, I have 2 mentors that I currently process with, and then my wife. So there's a 4-step process before I jump and obey. So I think sometimes we talk about obeying God. Well, I feel like God spoke to me. Well, yeah, but the Bible talks about biblical counsel.
Yes, sir.
And if they feel like, hey, there's a delay, watch this out. Hey, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe timing is. So I get approval for a lot of things. Actually, even to come speak and come do this. Hey, I'm going to go do this. Would you guys pray with me? Hey, I'm going to go speak at this thing. Would you guys pray with me? Everybody's aware of what I'm doing all the time. I don't just say yes or obey. It always has that process because it helps me stay grounded.
So part of your organization system for both yourself
and
the church.
Bring it back.
Come on. is like having wise counsel.
Absolutely.
Is having support.
Absolutely.
Is having team leaders. How do you fight for a vision? How do you continue to because you said, hey, I'm all in. Either we're in or we're out. We're hot or we're cold.
Yep.
Lukewarm doesn't exist with you and I at
right.
all. And I think that's something I love about our friendship, bro.
Yep.
We're either in this or can't make it.
That's right.
I cannot halfway do this.
Yep.
Excuse me. So how do you know to fight for a vision, bro? Or how do you know it's time to go? Because being a person who's all in or out, that's got to be a challenge sometimes.
That's a good question. I'll think of the scenario for starting the church. I'm a pastor right now, currently at a church in downtown Houston
called
Eden Church Houston. We meet at the post there, and it's been beautiful. But starting it felt like, man, I really want to figure out if this is what I'm called to do. And just long story short, what happened at the end of it was I went through the process of, okay, God, you're calling me to do this because I finally want to see Houstonians come to church. I don't want to have like, hey, you can come to my church, but it's going to be a little corny. Hey, you come to my church, but there's going to be a woman throwing up. You come to my church, but there's going to be all these like
flag ministries, baby.
And it's beautiful. I think there's so many different expressions, and I respect all of them. I love them. But I wanted Houstonians to show up to church.
Yeah.
Anyone and everyone, black, white, Latino, Chino, Asian, whoever it may be, Indian, that would say, yeah, I'll go to church. I wanted everyone to have a shot at Jesus. And if they end up accepting him, that's on them. But at least having the opportunity to step into a room and say, yeah, let me try that out. I didn't have a space where I could do that. So I didn't think about, I'm going to become the next pastor and I'm the one who's most qualified and I have a podcast and I have a subscription. I don't have any of that. Matter of fact, people look at me now and they're like, oh, I don't know you roll like that. I don't even know you preach like that. I don't know because I never put that out there. What I was thinking was Houston, how do I serve my high school friends, my middle school friends,
Absolutely.
My elementary school friends that I can invite to church? Out of that now overflowed, these people that are showing up to our church.
And that's a vision worth fighting for.
Oh, that's the vision worth fighting for because I'm thinking of a person, not of a movement or my name being glorified or, I'm going to be the next big thing. I'm thinking about a person. I have a
specific person.
I have a specific person that I could
it.
never invite into a space that I wanted them to meet with God with.
And what are you hoping they feel when they walk in?
God, I feel like they would walk in and feel peace. Scripture talks about peace that surpasses understanding. You're going through a chaos. You're going through a moment in your life, through a divorce, or whatever obstacle you may be facing, and you walk into a space like Eden, and you feel this peace that you can't explain. By the way, that's how people talk about it. They walk in and they're like, "Your preaching was all right. I mean, your preaching was all right. Your worship was all right, but what I'm noticing is the peace that I'm feeling, and I think that's special more than anything."
Nah, keep talking about the experience, bro.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. I think that's what they feel more than that is anybody and everyone gets to walk into a room. There's a girl that we met by the name of Miriam, who's a Muslim woman, and she originally was threatening to tow a lot of the cars at the church. And I ended up calling her, and I'm like, "Hey, my name's Abraham. I'm one of the pastors here. I heard that you wanted to tow some of our cars." And she tells me, "Yeah, actually, it's my parking lot that you're using." I'm like, "Well, they didn't tell me that, so let's figure this out." We end up meeting up in person. Long story short, I'll just fast forward, but Miriam is someone who ends up coming to our church and feeling the peace that surpasses understanding. Now, she recognizes Jesus as a teacher, not as the savior of the world. I pray one day Miriam will call him the savior of the world. But even if she doesn't, that's not up to me. She's come into a space where she's met with God. She had a shot at Jesus. And now it's up to her after she leaves now, what she decides with that. And that's been the story of Eden, just different people coming into the space, having a shot at Jesus. Now that they reject him or say, "No, I'm good without him," that's on them. But let me at least say that I gave people an opportunity in Houston to step into a space to feel the presence of God. There's no lights, there's no smoke, not because we don't want it, because we don't have money for it, we don't have budget for it. It really is this pure connection with God. So, if you're in H-Town, pull up. Yeah, to Post Houston.
Keep going, bro. Like, I'm not gonna.
That's all I got. I think that's it. I just want to see Houston have a shot at Jesus, and like I said, everyone has free will to be able to reject if they want to follow God. But I've seen what God has done for my life, and when I think of people meeting with God, I think of Houston. I don't think of anywhere else. I was with a good friend who I just met, who's here for cancer treatment. Mm-hmm. His name is Rudy, and in the 8 months as a church, we've witnessed 4 different families that have come to Houston for cancer treatment that have somehow ended up at Eden. So I'm like, in 8 months, there's been 4 families. We need to create something that serves these families. Not for them to come to our church, but to feel seen and heard as they navigate one of the most difficult times in their life. Long story short is, there's a couple things I always hear when people tell me about Houston. It's ghetto, it's hot, NASA, Joe Osteen, Lakewood Church. That's it. And I kind of get tired of it. I get tired of it. I get tired of the narrative. And I'm born and raised here, almost 40 years. But yesterday, as I was sitting with Rudy, who's going through cancer treatment, who says when he flies in, it could be overwhelming to see all these MD Anderson cancer treatment signs all over the place. Him and his wife, they started talking about a narrative that they feel now. They said our perspective has changed for Houston. We don't think about the cancer and the dreading situation we're going through. We think about the peace we feel when we've stepped in the room at Eden Church.
Wow.
And they're verbalizing that, and I'm thinking, I've never told them that was my goal all along.
Yeah.
Was for the narrative to be changed, not as a city of death, but as a city where in the middle of chaos, in the middle of heat, in the middle of whatever you may call Houston, that there's a garden there to give you life. And the narrative will be changed for Houston. I believe that. So anyways, it's beautiful. And it was encouraging. As they're verbalizing this yesterday at lunch, I'm like, I'm listening to someone going through cancer treatment say there's a city of hope now. There's a place of hope now. And I see it different now. And that's my goal, is for people to find hope in this city. I don't care about LA or Atlanta. I love y'all, but H-Town.
Bro, that's good. That's so good. And I'm glad you got to talk about the experience a little bit, too.
Oh, sure.
Alley hoop, baby.
Yeah.
You did exactly what I wanted to do. That's perfect. Talk to me about your team. Talk to me about your staff.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your volunteer structure and how y'all keep things effective.
Absolutely. So we currently have...
And I understand, hey, we don't do it the best, and
sure,
no one cares. Talk to me about what y'all got going behind the scenes that makes the vision go.
Oh, yeah. Culture. We, Monday...
I love culture. I like talking culture. culture.
So Scripture is clear about that man was created to cultivate the garden, and actually culture comes from cultivating.
Yes, it does.
So
amen.
When you talk about building culture, whether you like it or not, it's going back to Scripture, and you are cultivating something.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good or bad environment, that's on you. But there is cultivating that's happening. Pastor Jared, who's my co-pastor, he alongside me, he pastors, and him and his wife and my wife, we lead the church. But Monday morning, he started something called Eden Stories. Talk to us about Eden Stories, because we get to hear stories about people that have visited our church from out of the city, people that were far from God, people that maybe grew up in church and were hurt by church, but now have given God a chance again. So we continually share Eden Stories, and that builds the culture. So for us, that's a big one. Before we get to the drawing board, the whiteboard, strategy, execution, leadership, development, all these incredible things that help us grow as an organization, we start with culture moments, which are stories. Come on, Eden Stories. Let's just share. Go ahead, everyone, share an Eden story. And that lifts the faith in the room. Like, we are doing something. Yeah. We are making an impact in our city. From there, because we're making an impact, let's go to the board. And let's talk about how we need to implement more leaders to serve Houston like never before. So we currently have 14 total, but it's 7 Eden House pastors that help us navigate and serve the city. So in short, there's a guy by the name of Fidel Castro who shouldn't be quoted, but he said something that I stole from him, and I'll redeem it. They asked him, how did you take over a nation? And he said, block by block, block by block. When I heard that, I thought, I'm adopting that for Houston. When people ask us, how do you serve Houston? I serve them block by block. So we currently have 7 Eden houses that meet all throughout the city. Deer Park, Katy, Galleria area, Northline. I'm going to butcher the rest of them. Pearland, and then 2 more. And all they do is serve the community with the needs that they have. For example, we don't invite them to Sunday morning. What we say is, hey, there's a midweek gathering at the homes, and we want you to see the Eden House crew at your HEB, La Michoacana, HEB, Central Market, whatever your mix is, because Houston has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it does.
And we want them to see them there, but also be able to know they're there to serve you. So I think our goal would be close to 100 houses throughout the city to serve the city, not to a religion, but just to meet people where they are, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
So that's the strategy, and that's the goal.
Talk about inspirational, bro. And I think what's really cool is like knowing you, bro. We've been friends for like 16 years now.
Long time.
And like seeing your heart display and like materialize into a literal organization, bro.
Wow.
It's super cool from observing. And something that I mentioned to you when we were getting coffee is like, hey, make no mistake, the world is watching. And even the criticism that you may get is like minor compared to the amount of eyeballs that are watching and that are inspired by what you do. So don't let the criticism outweigh the inspiration.
It's encouraging.
So I think what y'all are doing is like,
it's encouraging.
It's so much bigger than what you can see right now. It's just you're not going to get feedback. They're not going to tell you. And for what you do get, that's just a fraction of what people are actually saying and thinking and meeting about. I remember in February 2020, since we're already on this subject, Bishop T.D. Jakes told Stephen Furtick that this year the whole world is going to be watching you and they're going to want to emulate everything that you've had.
Wow.
1 month later, the world shuts down. There was no influential church as influential as Elevation during the COVID years.
Oh, yeah.
The Lord bless you and keep you.
Oh, everybody was waiting for the next song to come out because we had nothing else to do.
Every record you can think about.
Yep.
Had the largest broadcast. That's true. Had the platform got
I didn't even think about that.
Massive because of the isolation of the world, but it was like a perfect platform and timing for God to elevate, no pun intended, elevation at a moment where people really needed hope.
That's right.
And I think what God is doing, like through you and Pastor Jared, bro, there is a moment right now where y'all are being elevated and y'all don't care either. That's what makes it fire. Y'all aren't interested in more views and more clicks and more likes and more media coverage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think the whole church is walking through a moment of like there is an elevation right now.
Yeah.
The platform is huge, and more people are watching you than you know.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to be cool with it.
Yeah.
Whether they say good job or bad job, it can't affect you. You got to be cool with the flow, regardless. So I think.
Yeah. There's been a lot of bad jobs for sure. I'll say this.
I love what y'all are building, bro. Shout out to Jared. That's my homie.
I'll say this. You might hear this podcast and think, oh, it was a good conversation.
This isn't a podcast, by the way.
Sorry,
don't worry about that.
You might hear this friends conversation.
Hey,
you might hear this friends conversation and think, oh, it was all right. It was a good conversation. You might go to our YouTube channel and hear the preachings and the messages and think, yeah, all right. But this is what happens. And I'm going to give you the behind the scenes. I've never shared this before. I make investments off stage, across a booth, at a coffee shop, across a couch, that show up at church.
Yeah.
When people walk into a space, they walk into a family unit. I feel like a father watching kids go off. And I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And they say, but he's the pastor? But he's, him and Jared? But what is it? What is it? They always want to know, what is it? What is it? I just gave it to you. Make investments when no one's watching. And don't do it for your game, by the way.
Yeah.
Do it because you're meeting people where they are and watch what happens. Yeah. If you care for people, if you lead people, if you pastor them, if you're a leader of your organization, whatever it may be, make those investments off stage, not in front of everybody for culture story moments. Well, yesterday I took this guy to eat. You're trying to tell everybody how you took him to eat. What? That's just boasting. You're just showing off. Bro, don't do that. That's corny. That's weird. Don't do that. But if you make actual investments, by the way, not just this year, for 30 years.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
100%.
reaping literally investments that have been made. I tell this all the time, but people are like, how do you get this facility? How did you get this venue? How did you get this opportunity? How did you... Investments that I made years ago, that all of them said, if you ever need anything, I know you don't need anything right now, but if you ever need anything, call me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And I don't take advantage of it. I use the favor one time. Hey, I do need your facility. Hey, I do need this opportunity. Hey, I am going to need this thing.
That's great.
So I think Sunday morning, you see just a bunch of, I don't want to call them kids, right? But you see people that
you see micro investments.
Coming together. And now a visitor comes in and thinks, I feel peace. This feels different. What is this? And they're trying to figure it out. Well, let me hear the message. Let me hear and it's none of that.
Yeah.
It's what happens throughout the week, throughout the years that have now accumulated to this gathering Sunday morning.
One thing I want to ask you before we land the plane.
Yes, sir.
What's something about Eden you couldn't plan for, but you're glad that it happened?
Pastor Jared.
Or you didn't plan for, but you're glad that it happened. That's easy. Sorry.
Pastor Jared. So I started Eden.
Tell
were you at Vision Night?
No.
You didn't go to that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, appreciate that. But
I went to the launch Sunday.
Oh, you did. You did to the official launch. That's right.
Yeah,
I'll give you that one.
Appreciate that.
Well, I started something called a Vision Night. And this wasn't to steal people from other churches. This wasn't to do anything other than tell my family and friends I'm starting a church. Mm-hmm. That's it. It was called a Vision Night. And at that point, I had no one with me at all. So I gathered about 137 folks in the room. And I said, hey, guys, thank y'all for being here. I don't want you to hear from anybody else. I'm starting a church in downtown Houston. And people were excited. They're like, awesome. They went back to their churches. Everything's cool. And I'm just like, all right, God, I'd never want to do this by myself. And as much as I had wanted other people to join me, that's just not where they were at. But I knew I needed to start it. So I stepped out in faith and literally have Vision Night. That same week, there's a guy on Instagram that writes me, Jared Darby. Yo, man, I'm planting a church in Eden, Houston. Someone told me about you. I'd love to hop on a call with you. So we hop on a call, and I say, yo, what's up? Nice to meet you. And he's like, yo, I'm from Houston. I moved to Alabama for about 13 years. I pastored there. I'm ready to come home and pastor. And I said, that's dope. By the way, I hear that all the time. I get messages like that all the time from people wanting to come back to Houston. So I said, that's dope. Let me know if you need anything. I'll be here. I've been here my whole life. Whatever you need, bro. Thanks for coming back to serve the city of Houston. And he says, well, there's one problem. So what is that? And he said, our church name is Eden. And I said, well, big dog, I already registered it with the state. So you do what you got to do. And he says, nah, something's stirring because I watched what your pillars are, and they're very similar to mine. And he sends me a journal entry that he did a year ago or 2 years ago, how he always wanted to pastor with somebody else. The vision statement, the pillars were very similar and aligned. And he was being sent with money. He was being sent with a team. He was being sent. Matter of fact, he had a location in mind already over on the west side of Houston. So then I thought to myself, it's incredible. This is what I told him. I said, come to the city. We'll do a video. And the video will say this. Hey, my name's Abraham. This is Jared. We both got the name Eden, but we're two separate churches. However, we're serving one kingdom. We're serving the city of Houston. Wherever you call home, just know everything is good on this end. I wanted to do that video, upload it online. That way it lives there in case anybody ever says, well, who's the real Eden?
Who's confused?
Yeah, it won't be confusion. He says, yeah, I think I'll be down for that. And go home and tell my wife, hey, babe, I met this guy, Jared. He wrote me on Instagram. Show her a picture of him and his wife. And my wife, who's Russian, not very expressive. Is that a good way to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not very expressive.
I got you covered.
She says, they're supposed to be with us. Without question, I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I don't know them, but they're supposed to be with us. And I'm like, really? You think so? I mean, I always wanted to do a church with somebody else, but them, I mean, I don't even know them. They're strangers. And she says, yep. I said, okay. And when my wife speaks like that, by the way, I act on it.
Oh, for
There's
sure.
only a couple times she's done that.
Oh, for sure.
And every time she's done it, it's actually one of the main reasons I stepped out to even start Eden was when Alina said, we're ready. Not when I said.
It's time, yeah.
When she said it's time. Exactly. She did say that. She said it's time. So long story short, we jump on a Zoom call and I make the bold ask and say, hey, would you be willing to come alongside us and pastor this church? I know you got everything settled, money, team, facility, but you'll be willing to come with me. And he said yes. And it's been a year and a half now. Our church is 8 months old. But since we've met, it's been about a year and a half going on 2. And I didn't expect it. And anytime he's talking, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Like, I am so grateful. When he preaches, when he teaches, when he leads our team, I just watch him and I'm like, there couldn't have been anyone more perfect. We couldn't be more different, but we were definitely separated at birth. And I didn't know this man just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm going on being 30, how old am I? 37 years old.
Shout out, Jared. I love you, bro.
PJ.
What a beautiful story. Was at the time y'all did the Zoom call, was he still in Alabama or was he kind of coming back and forth to
He was still in Alabama.
because he didn't do vision nights and nothing yet.
Nothing. He was still in Alabama.
He was still doing like the planning and the prep to arrive.
From then, when our wives actually agreed to do it together, we would spend about 3 hours on the phone every other day.
Oh my gosh.
So what do you think about this? What's your stance on this? What happens if the church splits? What happens if this? Should we have a 1 year check-in, 3 year check-in? What happens is, so we talked about all the negative things you could think of, all the things that have happened historically.
Yeah.
But then we started dreaming. Hey, so what happens if the church explodes?
Yeah.
What happens if God does something and he breathes on this thing? What happens? And we prepared for both. And I thought it was beautiful when we started to plan and project, God, do what only you can do with humility, obviously. 2 strong men leading a church.
I love it.
You constantly have to submit and have humility in that. So anyway.
Bro, that's fire. All right. Overrated or underrated? Getting 8 hours of sleep every night.
Overrated.
No way.
Overrated.
Why?
I would, the deeper question would be, how do we back this up? Scientifically, yeah, well, there's 2 scientific backings. I've heard people say, well, 4 hours is enough, and then I hear others say 7 to 8 hours.
6 is fine, yeah.
Yeah, so I would say overrated. I think don't worry about how many hours you sleep. Think about how much work you do. Come on, somebody. There were 6 days of work. There was 1 of Sabbath.
Okay.
I know it's a season of Sabbath, rest. Everybody stay calm.
Rest in
breathe,
God.
Good energy, vibes. No, get to work. Get to work. How about that?
Okay. Overrated or underrated? Work performance reviews.
I think they're a little bit overrated because they seem inauthentic.
Okay.
I think if it's a good culture, and it's not that deep, but I'm thinking
It is.
corporate America world and where
It
I've worked.
is.
I'm thinking if there's a good culture of like back and forth anyway,
Feedback.
you don't have to have. I think if you're having this check-in, it'd be, let me tell you what you've actually excelled at. Because throughout the year, you're already saying, hey, this is what I would do different.
Absolutely.
As the manager, as the boss, as the leader, you don't say, these are the 3 things you really suck at. No, it's like, hey, why don't we try this angle?
Yeah.
Right? And so, yeah, I think it's a little bit overrated.
There should be check-ins. You shouldn't do a performance review and you shock like, what?
Yes,
you shouldn't
that's
be.
what
There should be more frequency over time. So when you do it quarterly, you're not like hearing stuff you've heard, like I've never heard this ever.
Kanye said this. He said, I just be saying stuff wrong sometimes. But Hove, my big bro, he be saying stuff. That's you right now. You just said it right. I just be saying stuff wrong sometimes, bro. He said it right.
This guy, bro. All right, last 2. 2 weeks notice. Overrated or underrated?
I just saw a video about that. Did you just think of that recently?
No.
Because it just came on my feed.
Oh, okay.
Where the guy was saying, do not give a 2-week notice. You're going to get terminated.
Because they'll terminate you immediately.
How do I feel about it? I think if it's a good culture, a healthy environment, 2 weeks is good. We get to celebrate all the things you've done. But if it's toxic, I don't know.
Be prepared to get fired.
Yeah, pretty
immediately.
Much. Yep.
Okay. All right. Overrated or underrated? Appetizers before the main entree.
That's underrated.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big boy. I like little appetizer before. That's underrated. Y'all be trying to act classy with the main meal. Y'all relax. Order little mozzarella sticks in the dipping sauce. The marinara sauce. Yeah, boy. And then get the main meal.
Little chips and queso.
Come on, ain't nobody ever denied some
Bro,
chips and queso.
come on. You gotta get.
I've seen everybody eat chips and queso.
You don't want to just be sitting there. You gotta. I mean, we can't talk that
underrated.
much.
Order an appetizer.
All right, bet. Last one. Health insurance premiums. Overrated or underrated?
Oh my gosh, my wife used to work in that field many years ago, and if you asked Hood Abraham, he would say it's overrated. But as an adult
With 3 kids.
with 3 kids, I think it's necessary. You like how
Why'd you get so serious?
did you like how I didn't answer any of them?
Why'd you get so serious, bro? As an adult.
I gave you an explanation
It's
for it.
necessary.
It was supposed to be overrated or underrated, bro. Not a whole explanation.
He said necessary. Oh, gosh.
She doesn't know what song this is.
Bro, I
Thank you.
done started Siri. That's a wrap.
Friends Convo. I love it.
AB, the Don.
Come on.
Bro, you are hilarious, bro. He said, as an adult,
Overrated.
it's necessary. Bro, why'd you get so serious, bro?
I just thought about how Jared always says, bro, you'd be a great politician, bro. I'm like, why? I'm answering the question, but listen, I'm answering it. He's like, nah, bro.
Bro, you'd be a great, like, county, like a commissioner or something, like over a certain area, bro.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
going to war over this. These
with
sidewalks.
With a smile, huh?
Yeah, about why we need soccer fields for the kids.
Oh my gosh.